In the dead of night, a scream ripped through the stone corridors of Blackthorn Academy, only to be swallowed by an oppressive silence. By morning, another student had vanished, Amelia Crest, the third in a month, leaving behind a half-finished poem scrawled on her desk. Whispers of a curse slithered through the elite boarding school's ivy-clad walls, but Keanu Reeves, a man who'd faced demons, dodged bullets, and unraveled conspiracies, knew better. Secrets didn't lurk in shadows. They were woven into the very fabric of places like this. With a forged resume, a leather jacket, and a disarming smile, Keanu slipped into the role of Professor John Wick, a philosophy teacher whose eyes missed nothing. His mission: uncover the truth behind the disappearances at Blackthorn, no matter how deep the rut ran. Blackthorn Academy perched on a jagged cliff overlooking a stormy sea, its Gothic spires stabbing through the fog like accusatory fingers. The students, offspring of billionaires, senators, and tech moguls, glided through the holes with practiced grace, their uniforms crisp, their smiles rehearsed. But beneath the polish, 𝗶cie𝗁𝗶𝗰𝗲, eyes darting, voices hushed, fingers clutching books a little too tightly. His first class set the tone. Standing before a room of skeptical teens, he scrawled on the chalkboard, "What is truth?" The question hung like smoke. A girl in the back, Lila Voss, with sharp eyes and a notebook full of cryptic sketches, muttered, "Something this place buries." Her words were a spark, and Keanu knew she'd be key to cracking the mystery. Between lectures on Nietzsche, Sartre, and the occasional Zen koan, Keanu prowled the campus, his senses honed from years of facing threats most would never imagine. The headmaster, Dr. Elias Vaughn, was a puzzle, tall, silver-haired, with a smile too perfect and eyes that seemed to dissect rather than see. Vaughn welcomed Professor Wick with a handshake that lingered too long, his voice smooth as silk but laced with warning. "We value discretion here, John," he said, his gaze lingering like a predator sizing up prey. Keanu nodded, playing the part, but his gut screamed. Vaughn was a linchpin of whatever was rotting Blackthorn from within. The faculty lounge buzzed with rumors, though most teachers cloaked their unease in small talk. Professor Hargrove, a nervous historian with a habit of adjusting her glasses, spoke in hushed tones of a secret society tied to the school's founding in 1789. "The Order of the Saffron Veil," she whispered, glancing at the door. "They meet in the old chapel. Students are chosen, but no one knows why or what happens to them." Dr. Klein, a chemist with a perpetual scowl, scoffed at the idea, but his trembling hands betrayed him. Keanu filed every detail away, his night spent combing the campus for clues. He found locked doors in the library's basement, strange symbols carved into the chapel's pews, and a groundskeeper who avoided his gaze, muttering about things best left alone. Lila became his shadow, slipping him notes about odd faculty behavior and students who'd acted strange before vanishing. She'd overheard Amelia talking about a test days before her disappearance. "She was scared," Lila said, her voice low in an empty classroom after hours. Said she'd been invited to something exclusive, something only the best got picked for. Keanu pressed for details, but Lila clammed up, fear flickering in her eyes. He didn't push. Trust was earned, and he'd need her help to crack this. Instead, he taught her to observe, to question, to see the world as a puzzle rather than a prison. "Truth doesn't hide," he told her. "It's just waiting for someone to look." Keanu's investigation deepened. He noticed patterns. The missing students were all prodigies. Amelia was a coding genius. Another was a chess grandmaster. The third a polyglot fluent in 6 languages. This wasn't random. It was targeted. Late one evening, he broke into the registrar's office, bypassing a surprisingly sophisticated alarm system. Inside, he found files on each missing student, marked with a saffron-colored seal and cryptic notes. "Candidate approved. Phase 1 initiated." His search was cut short by footsteps. He slipped out a window, but not before spotting a name on another file, Lila Voss. The next day, Keanu confronted Lila, showing her the file. Her face paled, but she didn't run. "I got an invitation last week," she admitted. "A letter, unsigned, telling me to meet at the chapel at midnight. I didn't go. I burned it." Her defiance impressed him, but it also painted a target on her back. Keanu knew they were running out of time. He needed to find the Order's lair before Lila became their next victim. One moonless night, Keanu trailed a cloaked figure slipping into the forest beyond the school. His boots sank into the damp earth as he followed, silent as a ghost. The figure paused in an ancient oak, pressing a hidden panel that revealed a trapdoor. Keanu waited, then descended into a tunnel lit by flickering torches. The air grew heavy, thick with a scent of wax and something metallic. Blood, he realized with a chill. Voices echoed ahead, chanting in a language he couldn't place, guttural and ancient. At the tunnel's end, he found a chamber straight out of a nightmare. Masked figures in saffron robes circled a stone altar, where a bound student, Amelia, lay pale and dazed, her eyes half open but unseeing. Keanu's blood ran cold. This wasn't just a secret society. It was a cult, and its rituals were no mere ceremony. Dr. Vaughn stepped into the light, unmasking himself as a leader. His voice dripped with arrogance. "You're too late, Reeves. The Order shapes the future. These students are our raw material, minds mold for a new world order." Keanu pieced it together. The disappearances were a harvest. The Order was cherry-picking the brightest, brainwashing them for shadowy cabal's twisted experiments, political puppets, corporate drones, soldiers for a cause no one saw coming. Amelia's coding skills, the chess grandmaster's strategic mind, the polyglot's linguistic prowess. They were building an army of prodigies, loyal only to the Order. He didn't negotiate with fanatics. With a move honed by years of combat, Keanu disarmed the guard, his fist connecting with bone. The chamber erupted, robes swirled, blades flashed, and torches fell, igniting tapestries. Lila, who'd followed him against his orders, darted through the chaos, cutting Amelia's bonds with a stolen knife. "Go!" Keanu shouted, blocking a robed attacker wielding a ceremonial dagger. The three fought their way back to the tunnel, but Vaughn's voice chased them. "You can't stop progress, Reeves. The Order is everywhere." In the tunnel, Keanu spotted a crate marked with a chemical symbol, explosives, likely for the Order's rituals. He rigged it with a timer from his watch, a trick he'd learned in darker days. "Run," he told Lila and Amelia, shoving them toward the surface. The blast shook the earth, collapsing the tunnel and burying the chamber. They stumbled into the forest, gasping, as dawn broke over the sea, painting the sky in streaks of gold and crimson. But the fight was far from over. Vaughn had escaped, and Keanu knew he'd regroup. Back at the academy, Lila hacked the school's servers with a laptop she'd modified herself, uncovering files on the Order's reach, names of alumni in governments, corporations, even militaries across the globe. Amelia, shaken but resolute, revealed she'd been drugged, her memories fragmented. "They wanted my coding skills," she said, her voice trembling. "Something about AI control systems, software to manipulate data, elections, markets." Keanu's jaw tightened. This was bigger than Blackthorn. It was a global chessboard, and the Order was playing for checkmate. Keanu needed proof to expose the Order, and posing as a teacher wouldn't cut it anymore. He and Lila staged a break-in at Vaughn's office, dodging security drones that patrolled the halls with eerie precision. Inside, they found a ledger detailing the Order's operations, dates, names, and a chilling phrase, "Phase 2 begins." The ledger listed targets beyond students, journalists, whistleblowers, even a senator who'd been asking too many questions. A noise interrupted them. Dr. Klein, the chemist, holding a syringe filled with a glowing liquid. "You should have stayed out of it," he hissed, lunging. Keanu moved faster, pinning Klein to the floor and forcing answers. The Order's endgame was a network of sleeper agents, activated by a signal only Vaughn could send, a signal tied to Amelia's AI code. Keanu's mind raced. They needed to destroy the signal source and expose the Order before Phase 2 launched. Lila's hacking skills traced the signal to a hidden server in the chapel's crypt, guarded by more than just locks. Keanu recruited another ally, Marcus, a quiet student who'd been watching from the sidelines, his photographic memory a weapon the Order hadn't yet claimed. Together, the trio infiltrated the crypt, navigating booby traps, pressure plates, gas canisters, and a laser grid Keanu disabled with a mirror from the art room. In the crypt's heart, they found the server pulsating with data. Lila uploaded a virus she'd written, frying the system, but not before downloading a copy of the Order's full network. The cost of their victory was immediate. Alarms blared, and Vaughn's enforcers, ex-military types in black tactical gear, stormed the campus. Keanu led Lila, Amelia, and Marcus through the Academy's maze of secret passages, a network he'd mapped during his nightly prowls. They emerged in the cliffs, where a boat waited, arranged by Keanu's old ally, 𝗶𝗁𝗲, a hacker with a knack for staying off the grid. As they sped across the churning sea, Keanu contacted 𝗶𝗁𝗲, who leaked the ledger and server data to 𝗡cie, a rogue media outlet known for exposing corruption. The story hit screens worldwide, showing grainy drone footage of the forest escape. Keanu's face blurred, but his silhouette unmistakable. Blackthorn's gates were stormed by investigators within hours. Vaughn was arrested in a penthouse in London, his smug smile gone, replaced by the cold realization of defeat. The Academy shut down, its legacy a warning etched in headlines. Elite school exposed as cult hub. Students were sent home, some grateful, others haunted by what they'd seen. Amelia vowed to rebuild her life, her code locked away from the Order's grasp. Marcus, emboldened, decided to study law, aiming to fight corruption from the inside. Lila, though, was different. "I'm not done," she told Keanu, her eyes fierce. "There's more out there." He nodded, recognizing a kindred spirit. Keanu didn't stick around for fallout. He left Lila a note. "Keep seeking truth. You're stronger than you know. Jay." He slipped her a burner phone with 𝗶𝗁𝗲's contact, knowing she'd need it. As for him, he climbed onto a motorcycle, the engine's raw promise of freedom. The horizon was his only map, the sea roaring behind him. The Order's remnants were out there, scattered but not broken, and Keanu would be ready when they surfaced. The wind carried a single word as he rode into the dawn: truth. But the story didn't end there. Months later, Lila received a coded message on the burner phone, a single line: "They're rebuilding. Paris. Find me." She packed a bag, her sketches now maps of a bigger fight. Across the ocean, Keanu paused at a cafe, a newspaper headline catching his eye: "Mysterious whistleblower topples global network." He smiled, knowing Lila was already on the move. The Order of the Saffron Veil had underestimated them both, and that was a fatal mistake. The war for truth was just beginning.